Neri Oxman and Interaction by Erik and Mikaela.
Who is Neri Oxman? Neri Oxman is a visionary American-Israeli designer, architect, and a former professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's Media Lab. As a longtime professor at the MIT Media Lab, Oxman founded the field of material ecology, a design philosophy that treats materials not as static building blocks, but as dynamic living systems. Instead of shaping the natural world to fit human needs, Oxman's work asks, how can we design with nature? She and her research team developed new bio-based materials, experimental fabrication techniques, and 3D printed structures inspired by natural forms from silkworm cocoons to human anatomy. Her projects demonstrate how future buildings, products, and even textiles could be grown rather than manufactured, reducing waste and integrating seamlessly with ecosystems. Oxman's work has been exhibited in leading museums around the world, and her studio continues to push the boundaries of what sustainable, biologically integrated design can be. She has also been recognized for her work, receiving numerous design and innovation awards. Neri Oxman and Interaction. The model that's shown on the screen is a framework by Oxman called the Krebs cycle of creativity. It shows how interaction between different disciplines generates creative energy. The cycle links four main domains: science, engineering, design, and art. Ideas move around the circle, sometimes clockwise, sometimes counterclockwise, and each time they cross a different boundary, new creative energy is produced. Science creates knowledge, engineering turns that knowledge into practical solutions, design shapes those solutions into experiences, and art challenges our perceptions and pushes culture forward. Oxman explains that the real innovation happens between the domains, at the moment of transition where disciplines overlap and influence each other. The Krebs cycle of creativity is valued for illustrating the interplay between science, engineering, design, and art, encouraging cross-disciplinary thinking. However, many scholars treated its assumptions as problematic or insufficient because, unlike the precise biochemical Krebs cycle, creativity is believed to be messy, nonlinear, and socially influenced, and the model offers little practical guidance for fostering innovation. While conceptually elegant, its main limitation is that it treats creativity as predictable and self-contained, overlooking the context, collaboration, and unpredictability that shape real-world creative processes. Interaction in Oxman's designs. Interaction in design focuses on shaping relationships, how a product behaves, how it responds, and how it communicates with the user. Just like Oxman's interdisciplinary cycle, good interaction design is dynamic. It combines aesthetics, function, and feedback to create meaningful, intuitive experiences. It turns objects into systems that engage us, and sometimes even change how we think and act. But as said, in the context of Neri Oxman's work, interaction is not just between people and the things we design. She expands the idea of interaction beyond user interfaces. It becomes a dialogue between species, materials, and technologies. A great example is Neri Oxman's Silk Pavilion. Designers created a digital framework, robots laid the initial pattern, and silkworms completed the structure by spinning silk. The final design emerged from the interaction between human intention, digital fabrication, and natural behavior. However, the project raises an important ethical question. How ethical is it to use natural agents, such as living animals, insects, or plants, for artistic purposes? In the case of Silk Pavilion, it is argued that the silkworms completed their full life cycle, which is more humane than conventional silk production. But this leads to an even deeper question. Does allowing an organism to live out its full life cycle make it acceptable to remove it from its natural environment, or assign it a role within a human-designed system? When designing, we must consider where collaboration ends and exploitation begins, and reflect on our responsibilities when working with living systems. Ultimately, me and Eric, believe that the integration of living organisms into our designs can never fully escape subtle forms of coercion, no matter how thoughtfully it's framed as collaboration.
Why study interaction? In the 21st century, interaction, as it pertains to design, is no longer just a subdiscipline among others. It is a foundational concept influencing the way designers think of and create solutions. Understanding how people think and how they engage with products, be they physical objects or systems, as well as the various environments in which they operate. Shaping experiences has become a crucial element of design, as it has expanded from form and aesthetics, and understanding the concept of interaction lies at the core of that. Humans, or in this context, users and technology, are more intertwined than ever and will only continue to grow more intertwined. And interaction informs us of how these two meet, as well as how this behavior can be shaped. This is most relevant in emerging fields of today and tomorrow, such as robotics, smart environments, and Internet of Things, as well as immersive media, like augmented reality or virtual reality. By observing context, environment, social interactions, and emotional responses, designers can align their work with the real-life needs of real-life humans. Notable figures in this field, along with Oxman, include Hiroshi Ishii in the field of human-computer interaction, a pioneer of tangible user interfaces, and Paddy Mays, a pioneer of human-centric technology who created early agent-based systems, a precursor to modern AI assistant systems. These two people in particular have contributed immensely to the field of interaction design, redefining how we as humans interact and can interact with technology. How does interaction design show in our personal lives? Most of the interactions we have and experience are with one another. When looking at how humans interact with technology and with one another through the use of technology, however, it is a completely different story. This is the age of artificial intelligence. AI is everywhere, and depending on who you ask, it sadly isn't going anywhere. We interact with AI more and more every day, whether it is at the top of our Google search result or a just out of curiosity question posed to ChatGPT. Our phones have voice-controlled digital assistant software that makes using fingers unnecessary when looking up the weather or calling a friend. Most car manufacturers today have touchscreens for control. People can work with their colleagues from their living room using Zoom. You can self-check out when buying groceries or a simple coffee. Fitness apps track the number of steps we take. Autocorrect can predict what you actually wanted to write in that text message. And debit cards need not be inserted into a slot anymore. Even emojis are a part of this, as they can convey emotions and meanings in a way that mere text necessarily couldn't. It's almost